Hey, what's up triathletes, Taren here. If you're interested in buying yourself some instant speed without putting in any extra training or effort, and doesn't involve pulling a, let's just call it Schmantz Armstrong, stick around because we're gonna be talking about the new Alto Cycling Wheels that I've been rolling on for the last couple months. Now the types of products that I like reviewing are ones like Newton shoes, Hoka runners, PowerTap P1 pedals, hint, hint, there's a review for that coming up, or SOS Rehydrate electrolyte drink. Companies that look at solving the problems that us triathletes have in new and different ways. You might not have heard of them, but Alto Cycling Wheels are exactly one of those types of companies. And much like you, I'm sure, I had never heard of Alto Cycling until earlier this year when they reached out to me on Instagram and asked me if I wanted to try these wheels. I didn't know anything about them, but a buddy of mine did, and he said that if I had a chance to try out the Alto wheels, and I quote, "You take that chance, Taren." So the premise behind the Alto Cycling Wheels is that the fastest wheel you can possibly buy is one that is perfectly balanced on each side. That's really tough to do when your drive chain is only on one side of the bike. It creates torque unequally on each side of the wheel, so power transfer doesn't go in a symmetrical fashion all the way down the center of the wheel. The two founders at Alto Cycling, who are both themselves former pro cyclists and mechanical engineers, looked at solving this problem by creating this, which is the R-symmetric hub that places this flange on the inside of the hub, just inside all of the gearing, that balances out all of that power, creating what they say is 16.4% more stiffness in the wheel when you're putting torque on it. Now, I'm not a pro cyclist, I'm not a mechanical engineer, I'm barely even a good age group athlete, sometimes I'm not even that nice of a guy. But my layperson's take on the wheel with whatever they've done with the design is really phenomenal. And then beyond just that power transfer, the rolling resistance of the hub with what they call, I gotta read this out, the labyrinth sealed hub, the angular contact bearing, the one-piece adjustable axle, all together, it's really, really smooth. I mean, check this out.
My arms are getting tired. I seriously didn't think through how long I was gonna have to hold this thing up. Now you're just showing off.
And there we go. Seriously, these are smooth. For starters, riding around at low speeds, I didn't really notice much of a difference. That said, just riding around, they're still comfortable. A lot of very stiff wheels will beat you up like an aluminum bike, and you'll feel absolutely every bump and hole in the road. That wasn't the case with these. They're not crazy soft and comfortable, but they're not super harsh. Now getting into group rides where we start going upwards of the high 30s and low 40 kilometers per hour, that's when I noticed a fair bit of difference. Nothing new here though, that's just because of the deep section wheels, like all aerodynamic wheels are, it's easier to get up to that speed. One thing that I did notice is that because the back inside edge of the wheel is 6.5 millimeters blunted across, any crosswinds didn't really even phase the wheel. I didn't have to hold on much tighter. It's not like my body had to contort to hold the bike in place. So that nice blunt edge allows a crosswind to just wrap around the wheel, and it still stays aerodynamic even if the wind isn't head on or at your back. But that's to be expected. That's just basically all new aerodynamic wheel technology. Where I did notice a big difference is in the instant power transfer when you need to get from that 40 kilometers an hour to a higher speed and start getting that power into the wheels immediately. Even just coming off of a stop sign, you notice that every single pedal stroke that you put in is going right to the wheels. Now, if you're doing a bunch of group riding where you gotta chase people as they're going on an attack, or you're trying to go off the front, this makes a huge difference. And that's what I started noticing as our group started doing interval training, where we're going from 0 watts to upwards of 500-600 watts in a matter of 6 seconds. I had no problem closing gaps, getting up to speed. The power transfer was instant, the bike was stiff, the wheel was stiff. I had great control over the back wheel, no slipping around. That's when I became incredibly impressed with this wheel. Now, what does that mean for triathletes who are typically off on our own, putting in solo miles? We're not attacking in a group. There aren't race tactics, typically beyond just long, steady, slow miles. Well, even my Canadian math tells me
I moved here from Canada and they think I'm slow, eh?
that if there's really good power transfer under instant heavy power loads, there's probably really good power transfer at lower steady loads. Now, here's another thing that's pretty sweet. Even their most expensive wheel set only costs $2,000 US, and for that, you get everything. You get the skewers, you get brake pads, you even get an Alto Cycling branded valve extender. And even their heaviest wheel set only comes in at 1,752 grams. That's not crazy light like a lot of climbing wheels, but it's also not really that heavy, so you get a really good value. Now, here are some things that you should know about Alto Cycling wheels. The first thing is that occasionally you'll go over a rock or a bump, and it's gonna sound like this had the most serious pop flat imaginable. I don't know why it is. It might just be the build of the wheel or the combination of the rubber and the wheel itself, but like, it is loud. It's frighteningly loud. The second thing is that you're gonna have to open up the brakes a little bit because the width of the wheel is quite wide. Relating to that, you might have to get new rubber. The best rubber that goes on this is a 25 mil tire. That then leads into my biggest complaint about the Alto Cycling wheel. It is a bitch to get the rubber on, especially if you're going with Continental rubber, which by nature is typically a fair bit tighter on a wheel. I had to take 40 minutes to put on some rubber in this, and there's a set of tires that I can't even get on here because they've got a wire bead and they're so tight. And the last thing that I think that you should know about Alto Cycling is a bit of a double-edged sword. It's really cool that Bobby and Sean, the founders of Alto Cycling, still get in there, fulfill orders, and build wheels. That means that every single wheel that comes out of there is going to have a lot of care put into it. That said, these guys can get really backlogged with orders because in some cases they're fulfilling them and building the wheels themselves. I personally did have to wait a few weeks. I mean, it wasn't so much that I aged and lost all of my youthful beauty. But yeah, it wasn't instant because they don't have thousands of wheel sets just sitting on the wall waiting to be shipped out. So there you have it. That is my take on the Alto Cycling wheel set. These guys are doing really cool things, and they deserve a look if you're looking at purchasing a new set of Aero wheels. Thank you to Bobby at Alto for letting me try out these wheels, and I'm gonna keep these babies. If you have any questions about them, by all means hit me up in the comments below, and in the description I'll put a link to Alto Cycling where you can find all the details about these wheels. As always, happy and hard training triathletes, and good luck in your next triathlon. Teeth good? They look good. They look damn good. Where is it? Where is it? Alto.